No, I didn't know that.
Yes, Hugh Hefner's dead.
Good morning. It's the Todd and Aaron morning stream at GetPartDaily.com.
The man was like 372
Hugh
years
Hefner
old.
died.
Well, he was like 372 years old. It had to happen.
So many jokes right now.
I know.
So many jokes.
So few that you can actually use.
So little approval from you. Anyway.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody on Facebook. Let's go to the Morning Mountain Cam
Let's go
for
to
a
the
minute.
dark morning cam.
It's brought to you, of course, by Black Diamond Experts Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air. It's just getting darker and darker. It's all right. We'll get through this. We'll all be fine. It'll be just fine. Everybody will be happy. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting morning. We have a story about a killer clown, for real.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro's pissed off everybody at the University of Utah.
You're going to talk about what's going on this weekend with Daisy.
Oh, she's got giveaways.
Yeah. And, rapper B.O.B. is a flatlander. I didn't see that coming.
He really thinks it's a flat Earth?
The Earth is flat, and he's raising money. We'll tell you more about that.
Really?
Yeah. Now, were you going to talk about humanity right away?
No, we can wait. Let's talk about the lady with the dogs, because that is... Now, we've had... there's been a whole spate, and we've all seen it, of stories of, kind of brutality on the airlines, of security and police ripping people out of their seats.
Yeah, but when you saw the story, you were like, oh, no, they've done it again.
But when you hear this one, you're like, oh, lady, no.
So basically, a woman, Southwest Airlines, she was in Baltimore going to L.A., and she was forcibly removed off the plane.
Explain why.
Well, she said that she has a terminal kind of, it could kill me allergy to dogs.
Yeah, she said that it was actually a fatal allergy, and she was screaming because there was a service dog on the flight.
Service dog.
And another one that was in a little, like a Chi-Chi, that was in a
kennel.
case.
Yeah.
And she's screaming like they have to be taken off this flight.
Right.
The pilot said, we're not going to take off till this all settled. It's okay. And these are all passengers saying this stuff. And so they said, well, can you please show us your certificate of, deathly.
Right.
Because if you've got like a deathly allergy, the doctors give you paperwork for that stuff.
Well, my sister, when she flies, she has to have a piece of paper from a doctor saying that she's got a hip replacement.
Because she's got enough metal to set off 16.
Right.
Yeah.
So the deal is, they said, you know what?
And they spent like a good half an hour going, okay, you don't have a certificate.
Right. And Southwest has a rule that they can't knowingly transport someone who has this condition because they could die. So
that seems reasonable.
And the problem is, number one, it's a service dog, but that's not the issue. The issue is that the flight before them could have had a dog on it.
Yeah, I mean, if she's that deathly...
2 weeks ago could have had it, and the hair stayed in the...
Yeah. That's why I'm a little confused by that one, too. It's
yeah.
But so anyway, she was insisting they be taken off. They said, well, we can't, so we're going to have to ask you to get another flight.
Right.
And so they had to literally carry her off, and she was screaming. And the trouble is that Southwest still apologized, and I'm like, I don't think you have to apologize for this one.
Yeah.
This one was just like, what... Yeah. Oh, funny. Andrea says, flights are considered public transportation. If you can't risk being exposed to things you can't control, drive yourself, lady.
Baltimore to L.A.
Thank you, Andrea. I agree with you 100%. No.
Good morning,
sorry.
Facebook.
She's the one who's like, I'm deathly ill. So.
I am going to tell you a story now that is your nightmare.
This just ratcheted up my clown anxiety like by 50 points. You know that, right?
Lady was just arrested. She shot someone in the head. And she wore a fright wig, clown wig, and makeup.
Full makeup.
The problem is...
Costume.
This happened 27 years ago.
Okay.
27 years ago.
I know, and I can still remember all of it. Go on.
It was her boyfriend's wife that she shot because they were like hanging out and working together, and then it was like dinners together, and so they started putting it all together. And basically, 27 years later, she's in prison now. So killing someone.
She showed up with flowers, 2 balloons, and a gun. That just seems like... So she just barely got charged with first-degree murder this week in Miami.
And they found, and they started tracing it back, and they found the clerk who was there, and basically he picked her out of because she was buying the wig and the nose and all that stuff. And the balloons, and he picked her out of a lineup.
But 27 years later.
Right.
So when we're talking killer clowns, we're really talking...
Killer clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you keep up your fear of clowns. There's a little warning system for me.
Yeah, the nice thing about it, too, is that it scored huge at the box office, so that just means there's going to be a sequel, which has got to be the worst thing you could ever tell me, because now I get to go through that again.
Sorry.
All right, let's talk about Ben Shapiro. If you didn't hear about this, Ben Shapiro is a former editor for Breitbart, which is kind of the hardcore right-wing news series. Right. Editor-in-chief of the Daily Wire. And he was invited to speak at University of Utah last night.
Super right-wing, super conservative, crazy, that just.
One of the Democratic groups described him as David Duke, but Jewish, which seems to me perhaps a little harsh. But
now, here's the deal. The deal is that the university had him up to speak and stuff, which is a great idea because freedom of speech, somebody else's point of view. He
was just barely at Berkeley, and they had the same problems, and so they actually sent somebody from the U down there to see how they handled the protests because they knew there were going to be a lot of them.
Right.
But the irony, is that several professors were calling for a boycott of all the speakers for Free Speech Week because they felt like he was offensive, and I'm like,
that's free.
But you're a professor, shouldn't you be examining the irony of requesting a boycott?
Free speech.
Anyway, that's not the important thing. Last night actually went pretty well. There were just a couple of arrests. One was a guy who actually used a racial slur on an Asian American woman.
That's not good.
And all of the security in the end cost about $25,000. And so you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Right.
The average football game up at the U costs $25,000.
The security for the football game.
Yeah, just for your average football game. So they were like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. As a matter of fact, I drove by and I was by the Black Lives Matter group.
You were just talking about that.
And they seemed a little disappointed that it wasn't worse. That they didn't get more of an intense.
Security was that way.
That they didn't get more of an intense situation.
I think it's great, and I think that you need to be exposed to all different views, because that's America.
Well, and we've gone through this back and forth a couple of times, especially over the NFL issue. And it's true. It is important. And I'm not sure how you can develop a fully formed opinion of anything unless you do hear opposite sides.
You got to know who you hate. You got to.
Maybe not even hate. Maybe just like really irritated.
It's like that worst food in the buffet. You got to look at it at least.
Although I do find this funny because Young Americans for Freedom, who were the student organization who brought him they were the ones who had hold of all the tickets. And the university said, after this, we're just going to have a university representative do this part. Because I guess there were several groups, including Black Lives Matter, that were waiting
to get
at the
in?
front of the line.
Right.
They had been camped out like practically overnight.
Right.
And they opened the doors and they saw them. And then they shut the doors and they went around another door to go outside and start handing them out to the white groups.
I'm not sure if that's true.
Actually,
it's written down. It must be true.
Well, no, it's yeah. But
that
seemed a little sleazy.
I haven't heard. This is a weird morning for stuff. I haven't heard about Steven.
You didn't hear this?
Steven Segal, and is he got a movie? What's he got?
All right, Steven Segal, former action star, always wore the ponytail.
Right. May I point out how Steven Segal
He
fights?
pointed this out to me.
Okay. Steven Segal. Okay, first of all, Jackie Chan, right? She flies over. Look at me.
Okay, I'm trying to look up something specifically, but yes.
This is how Steven Seagal fights in every movie. Put your hands up like you're going to box me. He does this.
He never actually moves any part of his body but his hands.
He never uses his leg, never uses anything from his chest down. He barely moves his head.
Well, okay.
It's like a slap fight.
It's got really weird because for whatever reason he was on the Today Show, and he looks like a Lego version of himself now. You know the Lego movies? He's gigantically tall and square and blocky. He's got this weird dark hairline that goes even lower. He was wearing glasses.
Yeah.
He is now a Russian citizen. He lives in Russia, and he proudly said that Putin himself handed him his new citizenship papers.
Whoa.
I don't know, but this was all a surprise to me too, because he just barely shot a movie here in Salt Lake City a couple of years ago.
Like 8.
So he goes off about the NFL thing, and he's just outrageous. And he says, It's outrageous. It's a joke. It's disgusting. I respect the American flag. I myself have risked my life countless times for the American flag. It's an outrage.
Can I point something out? Do this again.
He couldn't explain any of the times.
Is this risking your life? Really?
He couldn't explain exactly how he'd risked his life. But
have you seen his movies?
He says, I don't understand or agree with this behavior. And so
he's Russian now.
yeah.
It's none of his business.
And it's weird. The weird thing though is they asked his view on the U.S. president of
being a foreigner now.
President Trump. And he says, I think that we have a really unfortunate situation in the sense that even though he was democratically elected, there are so many people out there that don't think that's the case. We have a ton of enemies within. We have these Democrats that just have this whole other agenda to kind of, when I say Democrats, it's not just the Democrats, but there's this whole group of left Obamaites and people that feel they should overthrow Trump and the country. And then after that, he went into more detail about his relationship with Vladimir Putin.
Thanks, commie.
So it's like, I'm not sure if he was drinking during the interview, and that's why none of it made sense.
Russian vodka.
But it just seemed really weird. It's like you're asking an opinion about freedom of speech.
And you're buddies with Putin.
Yeah, it was different.
Oh, comrade.
It was...
Comrade. Come here. I'm just going to slap you upside the head.
Do it again.
It's seriously.
Go back and look at
Go to YouTube right now.
Any fight
not right
scene.
now, but do it. And it's just like.
Sometimes he might alter his shoulders like in one direction.
Not really.
But not really.
That's just because he's off balance.
All right, Daisy's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom with actual real news, and so we should probably talk to her first. She's brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's like a wild array of all kinds of mortgages. Did you know you can get one with a credit score as low as 600? And they can help you get this for a ridiculously low price and quickly. So just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Mortgages made simple. Also by Black Diamond Experts. These are electric, plumbing, heating, and air. This is the time of year you need something switched on or off, and they were there for you at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Thursday, September 28th on GephartDaily.com. Some tense moments last night at the University of Utah, where arch-conservative and ex-Breitbart editor-at-large Ben Shapiro addressed an enthusiastic crowd of 400 red meat Republicans. While Shapiro railed against Black Lives Matter and ridiculed notions of institutional racism in America, hundreds of others gathered outside to protest his visit. At least 2 people were released after a brief scuffle, but were later released. A big score for law enforcement in southern Utah Sunday, where a traffic stop led to the seizure of an estimated 26 pounds of methamphetamine and 9 pounds of cocaine. The big bust came down when Iron County Sheriff's deputies stopped a car for speeding on I-15. When the 2 occupants of the car began to act suspiciously, deputies called in a canine which quickly sniffed out the dope. Estimated street value is $1.6 million. And speaking of canines, we are glad to report that Tess, the 6-year-old Washington County police dog shot and wounded in the line of duty back in August, is back on the job. You may recall Tess was critically wounded while taking down a carjacker and ended up being flown to a vet clinic in Las Vegas for emergency surgery. It was touch and go for a while, but Tess has pulled through and is now back on duty in southern Utah. And now to the Wasatch Front weather, where we'll continue to see lovely fall temperatures in the low 70s heading into the weekend. There's a slight chance of rain Thursday, but we dry out pretty soon after. Nighttime lows will be in the upper 40s and 50s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Aaron, back to you.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no. Twitter's testing out a 280 character limit.
I know, I'm trying it right now.
Do you know how stupid you can be in 280 characters?
Because the one that was there is the teeny tiny tweets were exhausting to write because you had to keep cutting out words.
Yeah, it's called take out the stupid stuff.
No, it means make it illegible and you don't know what you're writing anymore. It's true.
It's just more chances to go.
All right, well, we're doing good, bad, and indifferent. Let's hit this too.
All right.
Habitat for Humanity. You know
Love
what that
'em.
is, right?
Love them.
Explain that.
They build houses for people, and usually people help too, but they all volunteer. They come and they get the materials, and they build a home for someone. And these are people who are in a situation where they're ready to go, and they're working.
Really
and
deserving and
pull
awesome.
themselves together, and they're go. And they build a house for them, and a whole bunch of people come down and volunteer.
By the way, if you want to support them, they have a thrift store that's right off, is it 13th?
Yeah.
13th East, just off the I-15.
And it's building materials.
Yeah,
So
tons
if
of
you
different
need,
things,
if you
yeah.
need a door or something like that, and they had an extra one, you can go down and buy it, save yourself some money, and spend it someplace where they can use it.
Well, this is what happened, and it's like, this is definitely a people who are going to hell story. Wednesday morning, yesterday, a group of volunteers got ready to work on their project. It's on 30th Street. The site manager is Rick Bowman, and he went in, got everything opened up and ready to go, and he said, "We're so screwed."
Why?
Somebody had actually managed to break into the house. They made off with literally everything. And now when I say everything,
You mean tools?
Generator, air compressor, all of our power tools, our framing guns, our nailing guns. And without the tools, there's no way to finish the project.
Never.
And it's for Renia Diaz and her family. She's a
Right.
single mom, and she's living in the basement of a family member's house right now.
Right.
They were waiting to get into this because
Right.
she has managed to get a degree, and she's
Okay,
working.
so they stole all this stuff, and so
Yeah.
number one, they weren't insured.
No, I guess not.
Okay.
That just makes me sick. So there's a GoFundMe page. If you want to go to GoFundMe, you'll see Utah Habitat for Humanity. But if you'd like to donate so they can buy more tools to get this started again.
Or
But it's like,
if you're a construction company and you have an extra compressor,
oh, you
you
genius.
can write it off, write it off your taxes. Or you can buy a new one, write it off for taxes. Or you can buy a new one, you keep the new one, you give them your used one. Huh? Pneumatic nail guns. You probably got one sitting around someplace. I have 3. Maybe that's what I'll do with one.
You are so smart.
Not all the time.
Oh, that makes up for a lot
just
of the
have-
dumb times because that was really good.
I have little bursts of
Brilliance.
reality every once in a
like
while.
brilliance.
Oh, it's gone now. I just feel it. You want to fight like Steven Seagal?
No, never mind.
Okay. All right.
All right, tell me something good. You ready for that?
Yes, please help me.
Let's go. We
What's
need a
wrong
palate
with me
cleanser.
today?
We need a palate cleanser.
Did you
after
notice
that.
our trophy, by the way? We stole it. Better put it down.
All right, this is tough. Anatella DiCino was on Air Canada. She was leaving from Toronto to Ottawa this week.
Oh,
Now,
Canada.
this is the scariest thing in the world. Her husband had been at a conference for his job,
Right.
and he fell into a coma. So
Wait,
there's
where
obviously
is she and where is he?
she's in Toronto
Yeah.
and he's in Ottawa on a convention trip.
That's not close.
And so obviously we're talking something fairly serious, neurologically.
Coma.
And so she's terrified. She's
Right.
freaking out. She's talking next to her seatmate because they're just saying, "Hey, what are you doing?
So
what
they're
are you
on a
doing?"
plane.
But
Okay.
you're-
All right.
And she goes, "Well, my husband's, and he's
In a coma.
in a hospital in a coma, and we don't know what happened. And the neurologists are checking, and I'm freaking out. My kids are at home freaking out."
Right.
And so the chief pilot, Matthew Guetta, was listening. He'd come out of the
Walk back,
cockpit,
yeah.
get some coffee or whatever.
Right.
And he was just listening to the conversation, and Anatella was just mentioning, I've never been to Ottawa. Do you know where I'm supposed to
Oh, where
go
the
to?
hospital
and her
is,
seatmate
and-
hadn't been either. She goes, I don't know. She said,
Right.
maybe we can look at stuff up. He came up to her as they were deplaning and said,
Right.
it would be my pleasure to drive you to the hospital.
Get outta here.
He says it's about 40 minutes away.
Get out of here.
It was about midnight by then. By the time they landed, because it would be my pleasure. So he got her, waited with her, got all of her luggage, put it in his car.
Right.
Drove her to the hospital, made sure that she got turned over to the right people.
And you see this picture, they're from Canada because they're all wearing plaid like lumberjacks.
Right. Exactly. But it was so sweet.
That is such a cool story.
And she wrote the nicest thing about it. I'm waiting at the hospital at my husband's side. I'm hoping that he'll wake up and have a full recovery, but I'm so grateful for having met you, Matthew.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty good. You have to admit.
That is pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
That's pretty amazing.
All right.
All right, so coming up next, this is when I turn it
Oh,
over.
we need to talk about Black Diamond heating,
Oh, yeah,
electric
go
heating
ahead,
and
go
air.
ahead.
Sorry, I got so excited about the good, bad, and
Kind of
indifferent.
jumped it, yeah.
But this is always the good when you're talking about Black Diamond, and here's why. These people, they have a new office in Ogden, by the way, so if you've been waiting for them to move up north and get more direction for you, they're there now. These are the kind of people you call when literally almost anything goes wrong in your house, because they're experts. They know everything. So whether it's electric, plumbing, heating, or air, they will show up, licensed, bonded, and insured. They will go through the process. They're great with emergencies, 24-hour a day. If you need them, they come. And especially right now when you want to be like organized and get stuff serviced, like maybe your furnace or turning stuff off outside, this is what they're great at. And you'll pay exactly what the bid was. Nothing extra, nothing more, no special overages. So if you just want to go to blackdiamondexpert.com, they can give you all the information.
All right, coming up next, you and Daisy are going to...
Christopher's.
Oh, sorry.
See, it's a crazy day.
I keep wanting Daisy to come in.
I know
here.
you love Daisy. I know.
do. We all do.
We all love Daisy. It's
All
really
right,
true.
go ahead, tell them.
Christopher's, it's our big thank you.
All right.
You came over to the morning stream with us. We're so happy. I mean, wow. Thank you so much. So we wanted to say we love you by way of meat.
It's
'cause That's the best
What
way.
better way to do that?
To show your love and gratitude.
So Christopher's is an incredible steakhouse, and they have been around for a long time. They're on Pier Pond Ave in downtown Salt Lake City. And we want to give you a dinner and invite 3 of your friends and go down and have a great time. And all you have to do is...
Enter to win by just commenting. We're talking about Christopher's right now. If you're watching the show, just make a comment right now. We'll know you were watching the show when we talked about Christopher's. And just say, hey, I'd like to go, anything like that. You're entered. It's literally that simple. And then tomorrow we're going to pick a winner. So that could be the Todd and Aaron Facebook page, Gephardt Approved Facebook page, or Gephardt Daily Facebook page.
Now?
Yes.
Daisy's next.
Todd and Aaron's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Aaron Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Aaron page.
Everything. Oh, I flipped my hair right on cue.
I know, it looked really good. It was like the Bouncing and Behaving hair commercials. I liked it.
The what?
Oh, you never saw those, did you? No, there was a thing during the 80s where it's like they would flip their hair and they go, it's Bouncing, Behaving hair. I can't even remember the name of the shampoo, but
But
it was Bouncing and Behaving.
Bounce.
You have to say it like a valley girl.
Bouncing and behaving.
Yeah, like that with the lockjaw.
Oh my God.
Yeah, totally like that.
That sounds amazing.
I know, right?
Wow.
So much.
I was bouncing and behaving.
How do you even do it that well? That was so good. You are so Southern California right now.
Probably because deep down, because my mum's from LA, like deep down I have a little valley girl inside me.
The roots are in there.
Fighting to get out.
Keep her down. Keep her
Yeah,
down.
I will. I'll try.
You're doing good. Okay, you had some really cool stuff for the weekend because I didn't even know either one of these things. I feel so left out.
Listen to this. I'm so excited for this. Rob Lowe is coming to Utah. He is doing a show at the Eccles, and it's basically, I don't know how scripted it is or how just chatty it is, but he wrote a book called Stories I Only Tell My Friends and Love Life. And then I think he did maybe one show or a bunch of shows in Arizona, and now he's touring.
Interesting.
So it's like a night of him chatting about his wild days, and then West Wing and Parks and Rec.
And it's cool. Does he talk about his unnatural ability to never age?
I hope so.
Because, man, he looks the same as he did like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, and I saw him on the Ellen show recently because he's done like a ghost hunting show with his sons.
Oh, funny.
And the thing that I was like, what is, like, he's so handsome, but he seemed so nice too.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And so my first instinct was to buy tickets for myself to this event, but then I thought, what would be better than that? Oh, just in case you want to know when it is, it's tomorrow at 8. So instead of that, I asked
Friday
for
night, 8
tickets
o'clock.
for you guys.
Look
And
how
there
nice
aren't
you
very
are.
many left, but they got back to me last night and they were like, no, we can give you 2 tickets for
That
this.
is so sweet.
So I'm like way excited for someone.
Karen's like, yeah, he's hot. And
Yeah.
April's like, Rob Lowe is still so hot.
Yeah, yeah. So give a shout if you want to go. Like, comment, share on Facebook, and we'll pick a couple of a winner for a pair of tickets sometime like before noon today.
You know, I don't remember this as well as I should, but I remember the 80s, they had that whole string of great movies. I think they called them the Brat Pack again. But,
Yes.
But it would be so interesting to hear some of those stories because it was such an iconic period. I mean, in terms of they just sort of set the style, they set everything that happened, all the
and
movies.
that kind of started with The Outsiders. Do you remember
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Segal? And he was in that, and they were all, in that movie. They were all like 17, 18, and wouldn't you laugh?
They have all the little baby faces, I know.
Oh my God, hear about like how that set was.
Yeah.
And I can't actually think of any other Rob Lowe movie. St. Elmo's Fire? Was he?
I was saying Almost Fire, yeah. There was a whole, yes. Remember he was the rebellious saxophone player?
Oh, he
the
was.
rock and roll
Oh my
saxophone player?
gosh.
Because we all know some of those, the rock and roll saxophone players.
And then
And then
was
remember
he about last night with Demi Moore?
Yes,
was
he
that
was.
Rob Lowe?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, no,
And don't you remember
all
he-
flooding back.
And he played number 2 for it's the Mike Myers one, Austin Powers.
He
Don't
was
you
in
remember?
Austin Powers?
Yes, he was the number 2, and he made him cry all the time, and he would sit there and cry because Robert Wagner played him in real life. And then you go back to the 60s, and it was Rob Lowe.
Yes, he was.
So anyway, he'll have
Oh,
all
so
those-
it's going to be great.
I'm
so
excited.
someone is in for a bit of a treat. And when you go, depending on how close you're sitting to the stage, you have to Facebook us and tell us, like, how good did
Yes.
he really look?
Yes,
Could
seriously.
you see pores or,
That man's got flawless skin. I mean, it's like luminous. It really
and
is.
that jaw.
Right? I know. No sags either.
Look
Just
at
nice
him.
sharp jaw. That is really unfair. I mean, seriously.
Today's
And he
show.
has all his hair.
I think today's show should be approximately 3 hours long, and then the rest of it will be us talking about Rob Lowe. So get comfy, settle down. We're not going to talk about anything else.
There's going to be details. We might go to his pecs next, and then, maybe the biceps. So yeah, maybe not. But in any case, so
Yeah.
tomorrow night, how would you like them to enter to win for the tickets?
Yeah, I think just like, comment, share on Facebook, and we'll just pick out a winner pretty soon, so you have time to make your plans and such.
Get a
and it's
babysitter.
right down at the echo.
Get a drool rag.
Yeah.
Take something to wipe up the drool. That's important. It looks bad. In front of your shirt's all wet because you've been drooling. It looks bad.
Rob. So, it's me.
I want to party with you. Why do you always make me laugh like this? Always. All right, so what's this thing about free kittens?
Free kittens. This is cool. So I was scrolling through what events were going on, and I'm like, Free Kittens, a stand-up comedy show. And I'm like, that sounds fun. It can't be free though, can it? When I was looking for a free event. So then I looked, and it is. It's at the Urban Lounge. Which
Okay.
we've talked about before.
Yeah, I like the Urban Lounge.
It's like 241 South, 500 East. And they usually do super trendy kind of later night
Cool new
bands and
bands.
stuff. But this is an earlier comedy show.
I don't think I've ever seen them host a comedy show before.
No, I don't think I have either. And I don't know whether this is maybe an event that's moved from somewhere else or a new thing. But it starts at 7. Doors at 6, show at 7. And it features 3 local comedians, Trevor Kelly, Amira Ames, and Jackson Banks, all of whom I Googled yesterday. And it sounds really good, And
I
it's
just
free.
like the title.
I know.
Just on principle, it's like Free Kittens. It's like, it's going to be good.
That's good in itself.
How can you argue with that, really?
So I'd say, and that is actually tomorrow night as well.
That's amazing that's free, though.
Yeah, and I think it's like an hour and a half, maybe.
amazing.
So, go to that, and then you're right downtown, so you can pick a nice restaurant to go to.
Yeah, you already got the
and-
babysitter, so go out and have some fun with it.
Yeah.
All right, now speaking of children, though, we do have to pretend that, we care about their entertainment and their education.
Okay,
things.
we'll pretend.
Okay. Actually, Nickelodeon came up with this, and it's a really good idea. They call it the Worldwide Day of Play, where they literally go dark for 3 hours.
Okay.
And this is a national network, which you're like, there's no way you're going to give up the advertising revenue of 3 hours. They go dead for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And they say, go outside and play. Don't watch us. Don't watch anything else. Go outside and play.
No way.
So they partnered with the Discovery Gateway downtown, and it's really cool. So they have all these different things that you can do, and it's all Nickelodeon back. So there's some of their different characters there, and there's all kinds of fun things that you can do that are related based on some of the shows on Nickelodeon. But it's a really good idea. I liked it.
What is Zoe's favorite character?
You know what? She actually likes Adventure Time. She's
Okay.
she's like darker and esoteric for a 6-year-old. She really is.
Would she enjoy this? Though?
Very
Is
much.
That's about
Very
the
much.
right age.
Actually, yeah,
group.
toddler to 10, I think you would absolutely love it because they have like a bee pollination race and a Strider bike adventure zone, all kinds of random stuff.
Jay and I will be there.
See, I know it's perfect for everybody. All right, so that will be Saturday. That starts at 10 a.m. So get out, play, and if you're not going to be down there, at least make the children experience nature in some way.
And that's at the Gateway. And if
exactly.
you haven't been to the Gateway recently, it's I think it has new owners or something, but they've really like jazzed it up, and there's
Yeah,
like
very much.
swing sets and like
Don't
cushions.
you love that? I
and
know.
It's kind of cool. So while the weather's good as well, that would be fun too.
And they
to
have
go
those little
and just-
heating things around the chairs and tables so you can like warm your hands while you're waiting for movies and stuff.
Yeah, super civilized.
Speaking of movies, I know you wanted this one.
Beautiful segue.
This one's good. American Made. This is where Tom Cruise redeems himself for his last 3 bombs because this movie totally rocks.
This is the United States Drug Enforcement Agency. We are ordering you to land. All right, boys, let's land. Easy.
My name's Barry Seal.
That's for the damage. For your sister. Hey, little darling.
This is amazing.
Just the expression on.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Just the expression on those kids' faces made the entire movie for me. But yeah, this is actually the real life story of an airline pilot who decided that he needed some extra cash, and boy howdy did that get complicated. So the second movie, though, that I think is really interesting, this is actually a remake. We were just talking about the 80s, and I think this was in the 90s period, but it was Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland, when they were like all in that new big thing.
Yes.
That big group of attractive actors. And this movie is essentially a remake of that one, if you do remember. It's called Flatliners.
What's going on?
I would like you to stop my heart. You give it 1 minute, and then you bring me back.
Okay, now's the point where you say it's all a joke.
They have more fancy equipment in this one than they had in the other one.
I do want to see this,
at
though.
that.
I think this actually looks quite cool.
I love Ellen Page. Yeah, the special effects are spectacular, they say. So, in any case, if you are interested in new movies this weekend, those are two amazing
Go see
choices.
both of them.
Right? After you take the children out to touch dirt.
Yeah.
Children, this is dirt. It's on the ground. Sometimes there's grass
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that and then go on the ground.
Can't you picture toddlers all over Utah going, what is this stuff?
Yeah.
It's on my hands.
Yeah. Let me talk about the outdoors too.
Okay.
That's a squirrel. And such.
That's a squirrel. All right, coming up next, the weirdest cancer diagnosis ever. It's coming up.
Ooh.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Aaron morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple of years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something, though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down, though, if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
That, by the way, is Jeff Stout, who is neither Fink nor McGregor as a last name, but it is actually his company. We love that man. Oh, he's single, by the way, girls, if you're interested.
What are you doing?
I'm volunteering Jeff for his singleness.
Good grief.
I'm a female. It's our job to set him up.
Has that ever worked for you?
Sometimes.
No,
Yes.
it never has.
Except for the one time we had to call the police.
Yeah,
Other
right?
than that time, it has always worked
You didn't
great.
know she was a felon, did you?
Every other time, most of the time, it works
I
perfectly.
need the whiteboard for this.
All right, moving on.
I know, I got it.
This is a scary thing where you're
This
talking
is.
about a diagnosis like this. You get an X-ray, and then you get that call back
May
from
I?
the doctor where they want to
May
talk
I?
to you again.
My story.
Fine.
All right, so this gentleman smoked his entire life. And he finally said, I got to go to the doctor. He started coughing, couldn't start coughing beyond what he already was doing because of his smoking.
I can't find you anymore because you don't do that hacking smoker's cough. Todd
many-
has stopped smoking almost 8 months ago.
And that's why I have a baby.
And he never cheats. He's completely honest about it. My husband's going to live.
So anyway, so this poor guy goes in and they they do an X-ray, and they go, it's a tumor. They can see it. They can see a lump. It's grown over itself. And,
Do we have the X-ray for the mass?
Well, there is an X-ray shot and
With a mass.
with a mass.
There's a mass. Yeah, there's a mass.
And so, and I'm not a doctor, but there it is.
There's a mass.
So basically, they decided to go in, and they went in and they scoped it. And can I? Because it was unusual tumor. May I draw it?
I think you should.
I think I will draw it. Okay.
With your compelling artist rendering.
Once again, I am not an artist nor a doctor. All right. Let's see. Let's see, like that,
right.
like that.
Tanya says, congratulations on your smoking achievement and the food baby.
And the food baby.
And Scott and Amy say 8 months is awesome. Good for you.
8 months, I'm going to have a baby. In 1 month, my stomach's going to explode and I'm going to have a baby. Okay, so I'm now going to show you the tumor, the shape of the tumor.
So now, is this when they went in?
Yeah.
Okay, this is when they go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the doctors hadn't seen anything like this before. That's the tumor. Right here.
Is that a witch's hat?
Right here. Now, this item is actually
This was in his lungs?
only about an inch tall. It's really small.
So it's not artist rendering, not to scale.
Not
Okay.
to scale, and this is not an actual artist rendering. It's just me.
What exactly was it? Exactly.
Well, the guy's 37.
Okay.
The gentleman is 37, and they found the tumor, or what they thought was a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Basically, what it is, it's a small traffic cone that came with a gift on his birthday when he was 7.
Are you kidding me?
He had launched it where it went in his lungs, inhaled it, it embedded, and it stayed there since he was 7. And the little cone came with, what was the name of the toy?
At play school once,
The
probably.
Playmobil.
Playmobiles, that's right.
And that's so they found it and they took it out and he was like, doesn't have a tumor anymore.
He essentially aspirated a toy cone up his nose. Probably never told his mom because...
I'm not sure. It might have been in his throat and stuff.
Yeah, it's part of getting to your lung from your digestive tract.
Did you ever
So
have to
that's
go
an
to a
aspirator.
doctor because you got something stuck in you? That didn't sound good.
No, it really didn't.
Okay,
But
my neighbor.
Fortunately, my answer is no to that question. Thank God. But now, what was this about your neighbor?
My neighbor, for some reason, decided to take a shell, from the ocean, and stick it in her ear.
Well, sure.
And she had it there.
She wanted to hear the ocean.
She.
All the time.
Oh my God.
Duh.
That's funny. She had to go to the doctor, get it out. She left it in for like a week, and then she told her mom she felt stupid, and she did that. And then the only other one I know is McLean, our son, and he had a Tic Tac, and for some reason he was young, and for some reason he put it up halfway into a nostril, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
And why wouldn't he?
Aaron's across town doing something, and I'm like,
I think I was out running. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Our son has a Tic Tac up his nose.
His breath smelled great.
Well, that's good.
And we were both going, what are we doing? I don't know. And Aaron goes, put him in the shower, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, you steam him up
Because
like
it dissolves or something.
We'll steam him up like a clam, and then
Yeah.
you could start to
And all of a
rolling
sudden,
in.
there was a Tic Tac. Do you remember? Oh, I
hate it when you
remember.
do that noise is just so
Why?
troubling. Do it again. That's not the same thing.
I
at
know,
all.
but it's a good one. Okay, so
Maybe we should just go to Daisy. She is in the Gephardt Daily newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Look, you can get a mortgage for as low as a 600 credit score. No kidding. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also, by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 24-hour emergency service. And this is definitely the time of year you want to call because something needs to be turned on or off. And they're there for you at allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my darling, what is going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Aaron. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news for Thursday, September 28th on GephartDaily.com. One of the most famous and controversial publishers of the 20th century has passed away. Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy magazine, died Wednesday of natural causes at the age of 91. Playboy announced his death Wednesday in a post to its Twitter account. Hefner started Playboy back in 1953 with a magazine that included photos of Marilyn Monroe. At the height of the magazine's popularity, it sold more than 7 million copies a month, mostly for the articles, we're sure. The situation in Puerto Rico continues to be dire. Nearly half the country's 3.4 million residents still lack drinkable water 1 week after Hurricane Maria, and the vast majority of the country is still without electrical power. The Trump administration is being criticized for a slow response to the crisis in Puerto Rico. Trump says he'll visit the island nation next Tuesday.
I am considering an executive order or association and that will take care of a tremendous number of people with regard to health care.
And it looks like Mr. Trump will be going it alone in replacing and repealing Obamacare. Trump announced late Wednesday that he'll sign a sweeping executive order sometime in the next week designed to overhaul America's healthcare system. Details of the plan have yet to be divulged. Trump's decision to act on his own comes after the GOP in Congress failed for a third time to pass its own healthcare bill. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to gephartdaily.com. For now, Todd and Aaron, back to you.
All right, thank you, Daisy. This story is bizarre.
No, this isn't at all. This is wonderful. Okay.
What is this? Oh,
I don't know. In the past,
let me do this first because we
Kill,
have,
kill,
we
kill.
have- we want to talk
Oh,
about
all
John.
Utah.
John and all
This is
Utah.
true.
plumbing.
We're doing second show.
All right. So anyway, what we're going to do? Tell me about this
let's
story.
talk about Kit first.
We're going to work on that.
Okay, this is cool because I don't know how everyone does etiquette now, but back when we got married, you had
Right.
engraved wedding invitations on a certain cardstock, and my sister was obsessed with the kerning, which is the space of the letters next to each other. I don't know
Do
if
you
you
know
knew
with
that.
different fonts, the letters
The kerning.
look closer than so you have to use kerning to separate them or close them together. She's crazy.
And there's certain things that you do to announce your engagement and you save the dates and everything. And it's all very old school and kind of proper. And we did go kind of old school because, it's,
She asked permission
that's
from
the way
parents.
that's the way I
asked,
grew
asked
up.
her mom.
But in any case, in England, the way you do this, in Britain, the way you do this is that you make a proper engagement announcement in the Times.
In the paper.
And it's also a bit of a social thing if you can make the paper with your announcement.
Oh, I see.
And so it's quite lovely. Like when Benedict Cumberbatch got engaged, he announced it properly in the Times. Well, Kit Harington from Game of Thrones just announced his engagement to Rose Leslie.
Right.
The old school, proper way.
Oh,
by
interesting.
A nice announcement in the Times. And it's very old school. Forthcoming marriages.
Yes.
The engagement is announced between Kit, younger son of David and Deborah of Worcestershire, and Rose. And if you remember her, she is the crazy... she's the redheaded, really crazy girl from the tribe that basically kidnapped him, Jon Snow.
They're all
A couple
crazy.
of seasons ago. But they're super adorable.
That's funny. That's
But
nice
it was
to
just very
put it
sweet
in the
and very
paper.
old school and very proper. I find that really, instead of announcing it to People magazine, I just thought it was darling.
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Upcoming, we have council members that get totally out of hand.
I will knock you out.
And also the rapper who's raising money to find the curve in the earth. We'll explain that coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Aaron morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and gephartdaily.com.
It's John with All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, and it is fall.
That's why you smell like pumpkin spice.
That's right. I do. Thank you. You like that new cologne?
It's everywhere at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right, so we're talking about prepping for fall.
Yes. Let's start with hose bibs. So it's time to disconnect those hoses.
Right.
And then from there, if you don't have a way to shut them off inside the home,
right,
then you just take a foam cover that you can get at your home centers, just kind of straps on and just goes right over the hose. Next thing, if you feel up to it, keep those gutters clean.
That's what teenagers are for.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I need some teenagers. And anyway, so keep the gutters clean.
Okay.
The next thing, call a roofing contractor, something like that.
Just to take...
Get the roof just checked out.
Right.
Let's make sure flashings are good, all those things, because we're going to be freezing on top of it.
Right.
Snow.
All right. A lot of people are talking about weather stripping and stuff too.
Well, all you're trying to do is keep the wind weather from coming into the home. So the best way is do the real weather stripping, but inspect it,
right,
check it. If you feel breeze, that's the best way.
Right.
Your hand doesn't lie. If you're feeling something,
right,
voila, you're losing heat through that.
All right, so gutters, then on the weather stripping, furnace filters.
Yes. So we've talked about this many times.
Right.
Change your filters if they're the little 1 inch, whether it's pleated or just the poly type.
Yeah.
You know, once a month.
What?
Yeah, we've talked. You haven't been doing it. And anyway, once a month, change your filter.
I don't think people know that.
A lot of people
Once
don't.
a month.
Yeah.
Because I think they put it in, they go, good for the season.
Yeah, and they're not.
And it's just going to make your
depending
furnace.
upon the cleanliness of your home.
Right.
You know, and so change your filters. If they're the thicker ones, you can go up to 90 days, that kind of thing. The next thing is let's drain that water heater.
Why? Tell them why.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
So what we're doing is over the shows that we've talked, there's scale that builds up in there. So we want that scale to come down and out through the hose or drain.
Right.
Then you turn that water back on and let it run for just a minute, something like that, to help finish rinsing it out. Then you shut the water off.
Right.
And you're shutting your drain off.
You're good to go.
You turn your water on.
Right.
Fill it all the way up first.
Right.
You'll know that because you went to a faucet and you had the hot on. When water is steadily coming out of there, voila, you know your tank's full. Now it's okay to take it from the pilot position to the on position, which turns the flame on to heat that water up. And then the last thing, can you guess what the last thing
Last thing is eat some pumpkin pie.
No.
Go trick-or-treating. Dress up like a plumber.
After...
You get some butt crack going.
Ouch.
No, you're fine.
No, the last thing is if you're looking to get that remodel done for the holidays, Thanksgiving.
On your bathroom.
Now's the time.
Because you're licensed.
Licensed. Insured, the whole bit.
Right.
But what we do is, you know, like I've shown you, many, you know, real quality materials.
Real tile.
And workmanship.
Everything, right. And so if they're going to do that for like the first holiday, Thanksgiving, can they squeak it in now, they call?
Yes, if we get right on it now, get it into the schedule.
All right.
Then we should be able to finish the project before the holidays. That way you can get the quality, the craftsmanship that goes with it for a real remodel.
All Utah plumbing, heating, and air remodeling, faucet fixing, sprinkler turner offer, furnace inspector, everything. John, thank you so much, man.
Give us a call.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me smell you again. Pumpkin spice.
All right, I get to act.
It's a dramatic reenactment.
Wow, this is okay. So this is my script.
Okay, now traditionally Canada is like so laid back that I can't even envision this happening. But there was a mayoral debate.
And I'm playing the guy.
Yeah,
right.
you're the guy.
All right.
And in Toronto, and they were having a series of debates with the three candidates around this, the area of like homelessness, blah blah blah. So this was the first one, and so they go up, and there's incumbent Don Iveson.
Okay, wait a minute. I have to get. Okay.
All right. And then one of the contenders is Bob Ligert.
That's me. I'm Bob. Mm-hmm. I'll be playing the part of Bob.
And so we'll step up to me and say.
This part right here?
Say
this part. Okay. Hi, how are you? I'm a Canadian as well. That's great.
I'm also one of the candidates today. How are you? I'm Carla Frost. Pleased to meet you.
Well, it's so nice to meet you, sweetie. And then...
Yes, he just called another mayoral candidate sweetie.
Sweetie.
And so she said, she pointed towards him. She says, if you don't apologize to me, I'm going to knock you out. And then the moderator's in here going, what?
And I will now read my part. Say your part.
If you don't apologize to me, I am going to knock you out.
Security. I need security. I need help.
She just threatened to knock me out.
She threatened to knock me out.
So the moderator had to pull them both aside for like this 20-minute fierce discussion while the actual mayor was sitting there going, staring off into space. And there's this entire audience of people just wrapped like, is she going to knock him out?
That'd be cool.
But that was
not that we condone violence.
Not in the tiniest, slightest bit. But after they got everybody calmed down, there was only 10 minutes left of the session. So they all basically just went, hi, here's my platform. And I'm still going to knock him out as soon as security
in the parking lot, just like in high school.
Why would you call another political candidate sweetie?
Because you're an ignorant man.
Sweetie? Really?
Ignorant
man. And then he's scared enough of her that he repeatedly demands security?
Well, he didn't want to get punched out.
She said she was going to hit me.
I am now.
Okay,
I'm now
explain
gonna,
the whole flat earther
Oh, my
thing, because
gosh.
this is a joke. I mean,
Okay.
traditionally people would go,
No.
no, honey, the Earth is not flat.
No,
but this
there's-
is an actual.
There's a group of people.
This is a movement that's gaining ground.
yeah.
get it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I saw what you just did there.
I didn't plan it, but okay.
Yeah. Flat earthers believe that the world is a disc shape suspended in the space around us. Yep.
Have they seen any of the
Like a disc. Like a disc. Like,
they seen any of the
like this,
footage
and like that,
or-
and then like that? And so they
any of the footage or the concept of gravity and gravitational pull and
fake pictures. And so what they believe is that people haven't been working this out and showing us any evidence that this is not true. The big thing they have is, what about the curvature of the Earth? What about the curvature? Like when you go out on the ocean, if I'm correct, I think I remember this, you only can see 24 miles. Because the curve of the Earth drops like another ship.
Interesting.
It drops it down here, and you can't see directly this way. So he's decided to take it upon himself. This is a rapper. He's B.O.B.
Yeah.
And he has gone and joined this movement, and he has started a GoFundMe page. Now the
To
GoFundMe
research
page.
to establish proof that the Earth is flat.
Exactly. And so, so basically, there's 1,456 operational satellites orbiting the Earth. There's the space station with innumerable photos and videos taken of the launch and space flight and the picture of the Earth and the round blue marble and all that stuff, but it's not good enough. So basically, he wants to send a satellite up. They need $200,000 to raise to go 17.5 miles. Now, a group from MIT, they did in 2009, they did it for $150.
That's awesome.
And they took a balloon, and
But
they
that's
took a
MIT.
camera, and they sent it up into the stratosphere, hemisphere, octosphere, up there. And they took pictures of the Earth. And so basically, what they're suggesting is he get a high-resolution camera and do the same thing. I think it's hydrogen balloon they use and keeps expanding and expanding.
Yeah.
And so that, but his target has not been met yet.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know. He's got $581 out of 200. that he
Actually, it looks
needs.
like he's hitting up for 1 million. So maybe he wanted to do more than one satellite.
That's true.
So
He
he's,
did say several.
So B.O.B. essentially then is going to choose to ignore every other piece of scientific evidence.
Right.
But his single satellite will go up
Right.
into the atmosphere and will
and
clearly show that we are a
Flat
disk
disk.
in space.
Flat disk.
His one satellite
Yeah.
versus countless decades.
Just like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, I have nothing I can't argue with that.
I cannot argue with that.
I'm
as well.
sorry, I really can't. Okay, because he's either gonna, okay.
Someone's
There's
famous.
more conspiracy theories, though. Do you want to know about
Oh
this?
yeah, go ahead.
No, I actually tweeted to the guy who came up with this yesterday because it was just the funniest thing I'd ever seen, and I
Okay.
was just dying. And he answered me back, and he goes, "My entire Twitter account is focused on butts." And I went, "Okay." And so
What do you mean his whole Twitter thing?
His when he's on Twitter,
Celebrity butts.
he's I love butts 247. That's his.
I love butts. I cannot
That's
lie.
his handle, but he does the funniest things with it. Like he was watching Valkyrie, which is, of course, the World War II movie. Tom Cruise stars in it.
Yeah,
if you
yeah. He
remember.
tries to kill Hitler.
And there's a big fighting scene in this, and I'm not sure how he came up
I'm
with
looking
this.
at Tom Cruise's butt as we speak.
You
He's
can see-
wearing pants.
I asked for this screenshot. I said, "You got to let me show this on the show," and he goes, "Well, of course, because everyone needs to know the truth."
He's got a bubble butt.
So Tom Cruise, in real life, I do not think
What
he has
is
a
that?
bubble butt.
What is that about?
Well, so basically, the
He
theory
looks
that,
like he's tweaking.
the theory that I Love Butts has come up with is that he was wearing a stunt butt, a prosthetic butt to perhaps, I don't know, look more.
Maybe it would help when he stood up, but it sure doesn't help at that angle.
Well, even at that angle, you notice it didn't really help. So
It looks like Kirk Douglas's chin.
this is the most random thing, number one, to come up with. And he says, I present the theory for the stunt butt with that one single shot in Valkyrie.
Right.
Observe. And so here's the weird part, though. okay, you're thinking, oh, that's really cute, sure,
Right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people go, oh, well, a lot of stunt actors wear fake butts for padding.
They do?
But this one looks hilariously outsized, and I Love Butts came back with, he does his own stunts. People wear butt pads all the time, but it's the sheer extremity of the rump's robustness that jacks this up. This is a compelling argument now from our friend I Love Butts. So this started trending about Tom Cruise's Valkyrie butt. It gets to the point where Entertainment Weekly and all of these national
Right.
news sites are calling
Right.
him and text and going, can you show us the evidence again? And
Right.
and it gets to the point where Tom Cruise actually has to take to Twitter yesterday
Oh, that's funny.
to categorically deny that he was wearing a stunt butt.
Let's stop
in
and
Valkyrie.
look. Let's stop and look. That's not natural.
And and I spoke with Swizz last night. I Love Butts 247, and he says I stand by my photo. And I went, Tom, yes.
Stands by Tom Cruise's fake butt.
But I love the concept that you can go from one single screenshot
To-
to several international interviews and
And
an
then-
actual retraction. I'm giving
Tom
this
Cruise
one.
says it's not true.
Denial from Tom
Denial.
Cruise. That's the joy of Twitter. It can go from one padded butt to a firm denial of one of the biggest stars in the world.
And meanwhile, we haven't cured cancer yet. Now you know why.
But on the bright side, we know that Tom Cruise has a stunt butt.
That has got to be. That's just.
That was the rump's robustness is the perfect way to put it.
Maybe it looked better when he was standing up. Does he have no butt?
I'd have never examined it closely enough
I
to
don't.
be sure.
That had. Jennifer Lopez has nothing over that.
You really, that's pretty good. You've got,
Right.
But it does totally crack me up though. And Tom Cruise is like, I think it was like clickbait, and maybe he just wanted to get attention. But no, that's not a stunt butt. That's not fake. It's like,
Yes, it is.
Maybe you shouldn't even have wasted the time to deny this one, because now it's just even funnier.
No, it's just weird.
Anyway.
Halloween. We
There you
talked
go.
about Halloween for adults. We found out that witches, sexy witches, and what was the other one? Superheroes.
Superheroes for kids, sexy witches with a #1 costume for adults.
Yeah, and even some of the women. But there's a new one, and it's out there, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
This is a thing.
This is the thing, and it is called the Sexy Border Patrol Officer.
I saw this in the store yesterday, and I had to stop instantly and take a picture.
Handcuffs.
Sexy
boots.
and low cut uniform. Sexy
Now,
Border Patrol.
This is kind of isn't it? I mean, Border Patrol and
Sexy Border Patrol is a thing.
Sexy Border Patrol.
Well, here's the thing. The next costume that goes with it, because it was a his and her match.
Oh, was it?
Was a
Oh,
gigantic
no.
serape and
Oh
a
no!
big hat.
Okay, now I hate it.
Big sombrero.
That's wrong. How about what you should do is come up with like the hot DMV agent, right? At the DMV.
Here's your license, Mr. Caller.
But you have to move really slowly.
You've had a good look at the DMV with people.
Sultry sanitation worker.
Oh.
With a seagull
Make sure
parked
that
on
you
your
have
shoulder.
that lid facing the street, Mr. Caller.
Nice can, Mr. Collar.
You know what? I have never been able to pull off. I've never tried, except
What?
for once. But I can't pull off a sexy costume. I can't.
I'll show you how.
Okay, you are good at that.
I got some tips for you. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Today was weird.
Thanks for putting the can 3 feet from the curb, Mr. Caller.
Works for me. We'll see you tomorrow on the Todd and Aaron morning stream at GetPartDaily.com. Now do that again. Come on.
I can't do it again. I can't.
Come on.
No, I can't do
Sounds like our honeymoon.
Mr. Caller.
There you go.
Did you make sure that you brought that book back on time?
Librarian. Nice. See ya. Go away.